All right, the last bit of information from section 13.2 talks about arc length and area of a sector. So maybe just remind yourself from geometry what arc length and area of a sector is. So the arc length, which is denoted by S, you can see that there, denoted by S, and then area of a sector is denoted by A. Of course, you know radius is R and the central angle is theta. And the central angle is measured in radians, and that's going to be really critical that you remember that. I'm going to highlight that. If the angle is in degrees, these formulas don't work until you convert it. So if you have any sort of test question, you'll want to make sure you change your angle. So you can see arc length over here is the part of the circumference of the circle, and that's the arc length. And that R, your radius, of course, from the center of your circle to the edge, creates that arc length, and then the central angle is the angle that connects to the two radii that make the arc length. And then you can find the area of your sector, which of course would be that region. So these two formulas you do not have to memorize, but you'll have to know how to use them, of course. So arc length, denoted by S, is equal to your radius times theta. And the area of the sector, this chunk right here, this little pi piece, is 1/2 times the radius squared times theta. And again, theta has to be in radians, and that will not be reminded to you. Alright, so let's just do a quick example because these really should be relatively easy. Find the arc length and area of the sector with a radius of 15 inches and a central angle of 60 degrees. So note that it's in degrees and not radians. Okay, so this hint will not be reminded to you on the exam, but the central angle needs to be converted to radians, so you need to remember that. And you should know how to do that. So of course we know that if an angle is in degrees, we can multiply it times pi over 180. And then of course when you simplify that, 60 goes into 180 3 times, so you're going to get pi over 3, and you probably knew that without having to do the conversion now that you're kind of familiar with radians and whatnot. So to find, I'll start with the arc length, which is this formula. So S equals my radius, which was given at 15. Just be careful if it's the diameter, you know, pay attention to details, times the theta, which is converted to radians, and of course 3 goes into 15 5 times, so that's going to be 5 pi units, and it doesn't, oh, I'm sorry, it does give you inches. So 5 pi inches is what the length of your sector is. And the area is 1/2 times your radius squared, your radius is 15, times your angle in radians. So if you multiply that out, well, 15 squared is 225, and 225 divided by 3 is 75. So I have half of 75, which is 37.5 pi, and that would be inches squared since it's area. A question might be, can I multiply like the 37.5 times pi instead of leaving it in terms of pi? And you absolutely could, so long as it's a calculator question. And that's it.